right, you guys, thank you so much for coming. I think I am the last session between cocktails, so I hope I can keep you engaged enough for that. So I'm going to kind of go through some of these slides here, starting with a video is a video is a video. Right? Nope, sorry, you're wrong. This presentation is called Not All Videos Are Created Equal. I'm Nikki Lawson with Saturn Lounge, a full-service marketing firm based in Waukesha. Some of you may have sat in my colleague's presentation earlier this morning on a practical guide to AI for marketers. But in this session, I'm going to be talking about the various types of video, their uses, and the real-life applications. We're going to start off talking about recruitment videos. It's a good opportunity to showcase your company culture. You guys will all remember during COVID, there was that, the great resignation, if you will. And yes, a lot of that was financially motivated by the people who were resigning, but really that meant too that a lot of companies had to reevaluate how they retain their employees. That's what employees remember. That's when employers, remember the value of company culture. And funny enough, I actually met someone this morning that his role, among others, is actually the director of culture at their company. And he really takes pride in year after year going toward being, the best places to work, which is part of, their employee surveys. But again, those are things that, people often had kind of forgotten about. Recruitment videos also increase the quality of applicants. Creates visibility and humanizes your brand. I mean, you're actually showcasing the real people who are doing the work. And it improves mobile recruitment. Interestingly enough, recruitment videos into mobile job postings increase application rates by 34 to 54%, and over 67% of candidates are now applying online. All right, so hiring people can sometimes feel more like a plot twist. And in this scenario, we'll go ahead and show one of the videos we've done.
Do your research and be sure to check us out, because what you'll find here, you won't find there. And it starts with a real team. We're talking people who've got your back. No drama, no egos. Just hard-working, honest individuals, all working together to get the job done. We're building cool machines for companies who keep America running.
So that is just a sampling, and a lot of these are actually been cut down for the sake of this presentation. But what you'll see in that video in particular is not only are you seeing the people for the humanization piece, you're also seeing that they really did put in some of that company culture aspect, talking about how the team has your back and things along those lines. And that particular company, which is Blast Cleaning Technologies, has seen real success using that video. I'll actually go up here. All right, so now we get into multimedia video. So communicate complex ideas in an engaging and memorable way. It's interesting that, you can actually, hang on, sorry. They do have a high engagement and retention rate. And content can easily be repurposed. So meaning, in this scenario where you may use the same photo or multiple videos several times, by adding multimedia, and you can easily change it up as far as different pieces within the videos using voiceover and other technologies. This can increase brand trust and storytelling. And so here are some examples of what we've done. In this scenario, we've captured the redesign of a headquarters of one of the largest brands in the nation. And as you might guess who it is, they're loving it. Meaning McDonald's. There we go. Oops. Sorry.
The first goal was to really capture the history of where we've been as a brand, but more importantly, to really showcase the spirit of where we want to go in the future with the brand.
9 stories, over 600,000 square feet, space for 2,000 employees. Chicago's energized River West neighborhood is where McDonald's honors its legacy and moves into the future as a company feeding people around the world. Moss partnered with McDonald's, its experienced design consultants, Studio O+A and IA Interior Architects, and other players to create an exciting headquarters in the Gensler Design Building.
It was a balance of doing something very modern and progressive, but at the same token, having enough touches of nostalgia.
So again, in that example you saw in the beginning, some of the incorporating the imagery that they had within the building, within some of the multimedia and example, or the artistry that was in the beginning of it, we were able to include some people, you know, that wouldn't have normally been there, and just kind of be creative in that way.
Electronic cold pasteurization. What's that, you ask? We take this and put it here. And then look, a concentrated beam of electrons kills all those harmful, invisible invaders, making your food safer for longer by naturally extending its lifetime for up to 32 days.
So this one was tough because, again, how do you really showcase, you know, pasteurization and basically a process in packaging? And so that's where you're able to come in and use the multimedia technology.
We've got years of experience backed by great people to make sure your people and the cars, trucks, or vans they need can get their job done. Vroom, vroom. So, how does it work? We're glad you asked. Your company has or needs vehicles, and you're sick and tired of managing them. We get it. It's easy to feel that way. Maybe you don't even know where to start. Well, right here at Ewald Fleet Solutions.
So again, how do you really showcase when you're, you know, you can go and, you know, film trucks, but that's not really what Ewald does, right? And so that's where we were able to incorporate some of the human elements within it and be able to incorporate some of those multimedia pieces to be able to actually tell a compelling story.
We know how much the right packaging partner matters to your operations. We're not just another vendor. We're your advocate, making sure every detail is taken care of and aligns with your goals. With over 120 years of experience in all printed packaging, we bridge the gap between manufacturers and printers, finding your right fit.
So this is for a private label design company, and again, you know, sure, we could go in and look at how they're doing the design and looking at, you know, how they're printing and all of those kinds of things, but this is able to, again, tell the story in a more of an engaging way while using actually some of the different examples and multimedia within. So in this example, we were able to tell the story through multimedia graphics. Was the right choice because the product had not been launched yet, but they really wanted to be able to showcase the functionality and the features within. And actually, I can call my friend Nicole here, who this is actually for her company. Did I nail the goal, I guess, in the right way? Yes. All right, the answer was yes for the camera. So next up, we're going to talk about branding videos. This is actually probably in a lot of ways one of the more common things that people think of as far as what to do when doing videos. But again, there's still many different ways that you can go about it. So branding videos are really great because they establish a clear identity of who you are versus the competition. It improves SEO and visibility. So Google has always ranked sites with video higher, but now with AI search, video transcripts are also being scrubbed as part of that search. And so video will also become more and more important as AI and the AI search functionality specifically continues to grow. Google, just so you know, and I know Nathan again talked about AI earlier, I don't think in a search capacity, but Google is still the predominant search function, but of course AI will just, continue to improve. Demonstrates company culture. We talked about that earlier. It goes back to the recruitment piece. Not only is it important to show culture for prospective employees, but it also helps build culture for current employees. 95% are more likely to retain your message and keep visitors on your website longer because of the engaging element that video is. Actually, one of the other so going in, this is a brand video that we did for a radio station that they've used in commercials.
Here's to the music explorers.
The relentless searchers of that perfect song.
Those who live each day with a different soundtrack.
We have a lot in common.
At 88.9 Radio Milwaukee, music is what we do.
New music.
Live music.
Local music.
We independently create our own playlists of artists you already love.
And new ones you can't wait to tell your friends about.
Oh, that may be the one. Oh, what do you think of that, Guillaume?
Oui.
Makeup, go.
Just a little touch up and perfect.
This video in particular was kind of fun, and they actually did another one where it was like the loader following the dad home from school or something along those lines. We called it the sneaky loader. But they really just wanted to do something fun and engaging to when they didn't really have any kind of new product releases or any kind of thing interesting to talk about in this particular time period, but wanted to be, still be out there and have fun with it.
Wall Street brokerage firms had a different approach, but we were fiduciaries from the very beginning. I knew by bringing on good people, figuring out their strengths, and building the business around them, that would lead to creating a firm that could best serve our clients.
We built our firm one person at a time, one client at a time. So clients are never numbers, they're people. We slowly and surely grew based on what's important to us, which is people and values.
So that one really focused more on kind of the culture and how they go to market and how they are actually, see them not only with their customers, but within their own business. We do tours. This one's been interesting because this actually, we've actually been working with a commercial real estate company where they have an apartment complex that's not the video I'm showing, but it's a real life example of something I'm working with, where their brokers are over an hour and a half away from where the facility is. And so they're like, we want some video tours of the different apartment, floor plans, some different drone photography and things like that. In this scenario, we actually, I think this is one. It's not the one, but this one's going to be good. Give me one moment. This is actually where the piece comes in as far as reducing the need for the travel, because they, like I said, with the teams coming in. So this is the one where I was going to say that this is actually done for American Orthodontics. And so they actually have done these tours, and they actually bring people in for education and for tours within. But obviously, doing it in video format is a little less expensive and time consuming for their customers.
Some facilities are worth visiting. Others are worth experiencing. This is American Orthodontics, where innovation lives in every detail. Engineered to impress. built to perform. This is where precision manufacturing meets human expertise, all captured through purposeful movement, light, and perspective.
And then here, we're going through a factory tour, looking through, again, the systems, looking at, people that are smarter than us doing it. And this particular video is important to these guys because they recently had moved into a new facility and wanted to really be able to capture the essence of where they were and where they are now. So now we get into another type of technology, which is our 3D animation. So we can actually use computer graphics to be able to to execute on these, or we can take actually CAD 3D renderings and make your product come to life in a lot of different ways. So again, you can showcase new products before they exist with a CAD rendering. It's a little bit lower cost to be able to do. Going back, unmatched versatility and control. What's kind of cool about these videos is, again, the way to be able to showcase something that is really hard to showcase. So for example, I was working with a company who manufactures mower blades. Well, if it's a blade and that you can actually physically see, it's not working, right? Sure, but then how do you actually, see a mower working underneath? So we actually talked about the idea of getting CAD renderings of a mower, kind of cutting away at where the mower, the protectors are, and being able to show the blades from that 3D renderings. So this is actually our 3D reel. It's just different examples of ways that we've been able to execute on it. So this is an example of where this is actually the lighting company. Here they wanted to show the strong parts that were within. So we got a peek of it in the 3D reel, but this actually is a virtual store that we did for a company called Kinter. Kinter manufactures retail fixtures, and they wanted to be able to go in and show all of the different ways that their fixtures can be customized. But really, how can you do that when every grocery store has different configurations and things along those lines? So we actually built an entire virtual store for them through video.
Security. As losses are an ever-growing problem, Kinter has risen to meet the challenge to help customers defend against threats and retain product while maintaining a positive in-store experience for honest customers, all without an exorbitant price tag. Security tethers. We saw the need for security tethers and attachments to upgrade the security of retailers with big-ticket merchandise. So they created 6 unique systems to fit any existing store displays. Peg security plate. A current customer was seeing pegs of product being too easily removed and called on us to develop a durable security plate to confidently secure the entire peg hook. Custom cage lock. Used primarily to display a stock of high-value items, we developed cage locks that can be customized by shape, size, and capacity to deter theft while limiting hassle for the honest customer. Lockbox. As another way to display high-value merchandise for consumers to see, we created the Lockbox that sits on or attaches to a shelf and opened with a key for the honest customer.
So yeah, that was all done by 3D and CG. Yeah.
So these are all awesome, but I don't know if you're going to get to, how can we do it in-house on a limited budget?
I was not going to go there. I actually was really more so trying to showcase more of the different ways that you can actually use video, because I think most people really truly think it is all live action, it is on camera, interviewing, and things along those lines. So this is really what I had more so prepared today, was more of the different video styles and different capabilities that can be done, whether it's being able to do some of these things in-house or relying on a partner. But really the idea is just to kind of showcase, like I said, all of the different video opportunities that are out there. I apologize for that. So let me get into 2D animation. And 2D animation is really great in how you can actually explain how a service works in seconds rather than a long text, as we say. It turns complicated stats into dynamic and engaging graphics, because we, want to be. We know that seeing the information and hearing it at the same time reinforces the details. So we can go on there and say that I had mentioned, 65% of people are, applying online, but if you flash them the 65%, it kind of reinforces it a little bit more. So you're reducing your production costs as well, because really we're not using a camera crew, we're not getting out on, having travel, costs and things along those lines. So it ends up being a really great option. So the video we're about to show, this is for a video series actually that we've done for a company called Pup O'Clock, that they actually send out monthly subscription boxes and do different videos each month with said boxes for puppies.
Nothing like walkies on a sunny day. What's that splashing? A dog and a human on a giant floating toy? Whoa, that pup swims like a fish.
Hi, Pup. Meet Lucy. She's one of my best friends. Don't worry, Pup. It's just a paddleboard, and Lucy's wearing a life jacket. You're Pup, right? I've heard all about you.
So then we talk about using drone and video. Here these are great because you get fresh angles, dynamic movement. You can actually get into spaces that you wouldn't normally be able to. You actually can get in and then show more too on a scale capture, size and crowd. So it's really awesome. Actually, we were talking with the folks at Blood Cancer United about doing some drone photography or video, even for that matter, for their Light the Night event that they do down at State Fair, or Summerfest, but can you imagine seeing that crowd with all the different lanterns using drone footage? That's really kind of the types of really cool things that you can see with it. And then you get the wow factor, kind of like what I was just talking about with the crowd. And then we'll go through and show some of the different drone footage that can be done. So as you can see in a lot of these instances, there are angles and things in different pictures or areas that you wouldn't be able to capture with a traditional video crew. The other thing that you'll notice is all of those clips, and while I realized that this was a reel, even still when using them within a full-on video, you really want to be quick and concise. Nobody needs to see, 20 seconds of the guys up on the rooftop and things along those lines. It's really, it's just, kind of that tool and things. All right, so using testimonials. Seeing as he is and believing is great, but when it comes from a customer, it's even better. As I said, it's a little more believable. It resonates with viewers emotionally. And they've been able to proven to be able to increase conversion rates with your customers by 24 to 34%. And like any video, truthfully, you can actually gauge sincerity when you see a non-actor. Never do you want someone that's going to be truly produced when depending, within your videos. You really want it to feel genuine. I'm going to buy your product when a complete stranger talks about it.
What was it about us that made you select Dufek Construction?
There were a lot of conversations where I felt like people were more trying to talk me out of what we were trying to do here, and I understood the lot line was tight, and it was going to be this really hard project, and it's in a rough neighborhood, all the things that we had against us, and I felt like you actually saw me and heard me and believed in the vision and actually believed in me. Yeah. And so for me it was a no-brainer. I remember you guys walked out, and I remember you were a little bit nervous. I'm going to tell you that. It was and everybody was okay, we've never seen Mike like that before. But I was I don't care. He's the one. That's who we're going to build this building with.
So obviously getting emotional during this, nobody, that wasn't planned by any means. That was very, very natural. But what you can also tell within that conversation, albeit being on video, it was very realistic, right? I mean, they were right as if they were truly just having a conversation, making it very genuine. So then we get into broadcast television. Linear TV still reaches, the most audience at one time. We were just having this conversation earlier. I was, at least, with a potential customer. The TV has, the power to turn a brand message into a cultural touch point. Brands will benefit from that sense of legitimacy. And now broadcast strategies will use addressable advertising, to target specific audiences. So that's kind of what we were talking about. I was talking about earlier with a customer is thinking, connected TV, for example. You can take your email database and upload it into, Hulu, for example, and you can do an email match. So you can actually target your audience that you're already working with, for example. You can build an audience. I am looking for, families in this zip code with an annual household income of X that have 2 children. It's crazy the amount of ways that they're able to target that within connected TV. So really, too, it's a really good way to be able to connect your users, your audience, to be able to go to their phone to search you. How many times, it's like any other kind of offline media where, you're sitting on the couch watching TV and you're going to start Googling a company or something that you may have seen. When I say other offline media, that's always the thing that happens within magazines, print, or any other printed tactics as well. What's cool with the connected TV piece, though, too, is now you can also start geo-targeting it, so you can actually have, I remember the first time I ever seeing it, I'm pretty sure it was a Heineken commercial, and they were scan this QR code to find a vendor near you or a retailer near you that carries this, and they knew where I was. A lot of companies will do that as well. So here's more of a local TV commercial that we produced.
We're there for your Friday night get-togethers and your Sunday afternoon celebrations. There are Fridays and Sundays, too. This is more than a grocery store. It's a bond with the neighborhoods we all call home, and a promise to keep that connection fresh and strong. Local, trusted, my Syndics.
This one here was more of a statewide type commercial that we had produced with
The
children.
reason that we chose to foster siblings was the one constant thing they had was each other. We had the home and the resources, and growing up together is the greatest gift they can have.
Get the app. Focus on love. Good job. And just letting them be kids.
We've been able to make a difference.
And it's been quite rewarding.
Be a part of the story and care for a child in your community. For more information about becoming a foster parent, visit childrenswi.org/fostering.
Being a foster parent made my life better. The nurturing, the growing with them, helping somebody. That's the reward in fostering. If you have the opportunity to take siblings, don't split them up. They love each other. And they're just better when they're together. It will bring you more joy than you can ever imagine.
Be a part of the story and care for a child in your community. For more information about becoming a foster parent, visit childrenswi.org/fostering.
So these are ones that they've actually used in the past for, like I said, statewide promotions, TV commercials. They are actually producing new ones right now. One, I believe, is out in the marketplace. So if you happen to be seeing any new of the children's foster commercials, that is part of this series. And actually, one of the more recent ones, they submitted for a healthcare award and won, which is really kind of cool for them and us. But
when my kids were grown, I thought that chapter of my life was over. But when my home became quiet and a little too empty, I realized I still had room, not just in my house, but in my heart. Being a foster parent isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. And I knew I could be a warm place to come home to.
If you feel you have room to give, be the person they need so families can heal. For more information about becoming a foster parent, contact Children's Wisconsin.
so I'd forgot that we put this one in there. That is actually the one that just won. Lastly, we'll get into some national TV commercials. So these particular ones are actually run by AmericanEagle.com. They're running these on places like Fox Business and CNN and things like that. Here too, recently, they tend to go through a few different rounds.
Welcome, everyone. Let's check in. How's your web agency treating you?
My agency just reacts. No strategy, no guidance. I feel like I'm just a number. I don't get any attention or a partnership.
Mine works overseas. Every question takes a data answer. You need a new digital partner that brings real strategy and has experience building solutions efficiently and the right way. That's AmericanEagle.com.
Get your digital performance back on track. Go to AmericanEagle.com.
If you haven't tried a Werner Podium...
Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys.
If you haven't tried a Werner Podium, you don't know what you're missing.
Sweet.
It's a new style of ladder, changing job sites and weekend projects everywhere.
Let's go!
Now available in sizes from 3 to 10 feet. Now you can work facing any direction. The Podium gives you what you're looking for in a ladder. Feel extra secure. Get jobs done faster. Feel like you're standing on the ground. On Werner's most comfortable ladder. Taking over job sites everywhere. The Werner Podium is now available with models for pros and do-it-yourselfers. Climb a podium and see what safety feels like. The Werner Podium, now the official ladder of the NCAA Basketball Championships. See more at wernerpodium.com.
So those commercials, because of them being in, NCAA sponsorship, they actually run during March Madness and more specifically during Final Four. So they had a different video this last year. What's really kind of fun about that is I believe our president still has one of those Frisbees in his office that is signed by the person who did it. All right, we are getting toward the end, but here's what's kind of fun about videos. You can turn, one video and use it multiple times. You can use it as a series. You can chop it up into different bite-sized pieces, but one particular video can actually go and actually have legs for a lot more content longer. So that's where I kind of talked about the different links and formats that can be delivered on different platforms. So like social media posts, cut down for that, for different reels, different advertisements. A lot of times you might even remember back when, as far as, commercials on TV, they may have ran a minute-long commercial back, I'm thinking when I was younger, and that was, long at that time. Nobody does that really much anymore. But then they would come out with a shortened, more 30-second version. So again, it kind of drives that retention, because obviously I'm still talking about the fact that I remember longer commercials when I was a kid, and then the shorter version. I can tell you I don't remember which commercials they were, but I do remember that being a very common theme. And this goes into meeting every customer where they are. So again, a lot of the conversations we have too with folks are, where should I be putting video? Where should I be putting my ads? Where should I be investing my time and my investing for my marketing? And the reality is that everybody is consuming information so differently today. I always use the social media in general as the example. I may be on one platform or two platforms, and somebody else is like, I never use Facebook, I'm only on Instagram, or I only use, I don't touch Snapchat, but I use, whatever other platform is out there. So I guess my point is that you want to be in multiple places, because right now there are so many different ways that people can consume information. All right, so here we go into the longer version of a video.
Proper elimination is essential for supporting your health. Your body encounters external toxins through the air you breathe, the food you eat, the water you drink, and the products you touch. Exposure to these toxins can overburden your system's ability to remove them. GI Adsorb from Standard Process is formulated to support GI health and normal elimination. It contains G-Pure, a purified clinoptilolite that has adsorbent properties towards naturally occurring toxins, chlorella, a whole food source of chlorophyll, and collinsonia root, which has been historically used to support normal elimination and digestive health. GI Adsorb can even be used as a nutritional support during the SP detox balance or purification programs. Give your body the nutrition it needs to support a healthy GI barrier and help remove naturally occurring toxins with GI Adsorb.
All right, so that obviously is a longer version. Here's a shorter version of the same video.
Your body encounters external toxins through the food you eat, the air you breathe, and the water you drink. Give your body the nutrition it needs to help remove naturally occurring toxins. GI Adsorb contains G-Pure, a purified clinoptilolite that has adsorbent properties towards naturally occurring toxins, chlorella, a whole food source of chlorophyll, and collinsonia root, which has been historically used to support normal elimination and digestive health. Support GI health and normal elimination with GI Adsorb.
And last but not least,
help your body remove naturally occurring toxins with GI Adsorb. It contains key ingredients such as G-Pure, a purified clinoptilolite, chlorella, and collinsonia root. It's formulated to help support GI health and normal elimination.
So Standard Process sponsored that little segment there. No, I'm just kidding. But what that, again, shows you is one longer footage can be cut down into shorter versions. Another example that we don't have within here that I'll talk about is actually a company, Infinity Exteriors. We worked with them on a full process on what they do to install windows. And that video in particular, I want to say it was 5.5 minutes long. Then we took, and I think it was like 7 different steps. Then we took the videos and made made them each into smaller bite-sized pieces of step 1, talked about that, then step 2, going on and so forth, so that they could use those as different social cuts. But again, they had the entire video to go forward with. So before we kind of get into, some questions and things, it's interesting and worth noting that video is only one part of the piece that makes up your brand's, ecosystem. Brand and marketing strategy, design, photography, digital marketing, events, all play an important part. One other thing that I kind of thought would be important too is just talking about, finding, if you were to work with a partner or work internally for that matter, being able to find someone that can actually be a full, true partner with you. So what I mean is we can go out and help with finding locations. We can work and hire voiceover talent and find, whether it's paid or street actors, and do all these other kind of different services and things that you'll see that you would have seen sometimes within those videos. But so I guess I hope I entertained you, or at least our videos entertained you. I may not have done as well, but we're able to learn a little bit of different ways that you can use video within your marketing, and that it's not just all one size fits all. Can I answer any questions? Yeah, Clint.
Are there still any general rules of thumb as far as how long videos should be based on what they're being used for?
So yes, generally speaking, for the most part, I would argue almost any kind of, brand anthem type video or even a recruitment video of those kinds of sorts, really a minute and a half to 2 minutes anymore. I remember when I kind of first started back when, the rule was like 3 to 5. And now, like I said, you really don't want anything longer than 2 minutes was even long. Some of those that were even a minute that I was playing today, I was like, okay guys, let's go. But as I said, sometimes that's a little different, because I mentioned the Infinity Exteriors one. That one was meant to be more instructional. And so really going at that 5.5 minute part, that's fine because of what that intention was, what that video was intended for, but then they had those bite-sized clips as well. Any other questions? Okay, well, we are here yet today at the booth. If anybody has questions or wants to see any other examples or talk any other kind of fun things. Again, thank you guys for coming. I do hope you got some good takeaways out of this. And, at least, like I said, videos were able to entertain you a little bit.